fights ago versus Chambers. That guy looked like he had a little bit of wrestling chops. It wasn't looking good for him. Again, it wasn't impressive, but he stayed in the fight, right? He worked out of a tough position, and then he put it on him pretty promptly once he got back on the feet, back out at range. The Watkins fight, again, was a credible opponent. He's just working. He's active in the striking department. So he's not going to be an easy out there unless you're just a lot better than him. And Panfarov is not. The one performance I kind of like best, Jimmy Pace Jr. Again, I'm not familiar with Jimmy Pace, but he was an athletic guy, wrestling, looking to try to get him down. He was struggling to do so, certainly struggling to keep him there, investing a lot of energy just to stay sticky. And then once he got his space, he was doing damage, right? He was active. He was putting it on him. So in a striking fight, I think he's decent. He's at least game at a UFC level. We'll see. But versus Panfarov, he can do a little bit of everything. I would say his biggest strength is his top game. Once he gets on top, he's pretty effective, but he doesn't have a great way to get it there. He's fought some, regional kind of can crusher types, and he gets them down, but it doesn't come easily. He's not a strong wrestler. He's not an explosive wrestler. His striking, he's a competent striker, but, he's not really fast. He's not athletic. He's not a big power hitter, and I don't really love his opposition. So, again, if he can get on top early, he's got a shot. But I would expect, from what I've seen in these fights, again, the Chambers fight, the Pace fight, I would expect Ewert to survive a tough spot on the ground, mostly keep it upright. And as the minutes tick by, I think he separates on volume and damage, probably finishes in round 2 or round 3. I would think round 2, round 3 KO. But I think he wins the fight. Again, 113 I thought was attractive, but I played at minus 160. I wouldn't. Minus 130, minus 135. I think that's about the steepest I would go. Again, baking in a larger premium for regionals and what we can't account for. I couldn't see Panfarov's last couple fights, right? But it seemed like it was the usual story with him. So my only play of the card so far is less than a unit based upon what I was able to get down on Ewert, minus 113. I think that's good, but I wouldn't want to pay much more than that.
All right, thanks a lot, Mr. Blonde. Go ahead, BB. You have one more comment.
Yeah, like Ewert, as you mentioned, like that fight when he got back taken and all that. Like if Panfarov gets there, he could finish him because Panfarov has a little bit sneaky, like rear naked chokes and stuff. But thing about him is like he's just a blitz, like blitzes. If he gets you or takes you down or something, he's okay maybe. But in between that, like when there's nothing going on, like Ewert is gonna be throwing jabs and volume. So I think that's gonna be the deciding factor here. There's more volume from Ewert, And also 520, it is back. Let's go. See you in Tuesday in space, brother. Also, I'm gonna do in space for every contender series card from now on. Also, and COD is asking in the comments. So yes, we will be doing spaces. Yeah, I agree with Mr. Blonde about the top game of Panfarov. So Panfarov sub could be interesting. If it's a crazy number, I may consider it. Like if it's plus 1,500 or something crazy, right? I may take a bite on that, but I don't think it's gonna be that high. So the props are gonna be a little bit sharper this year, probably. Last year we hit some crazy props. Like some people were like by sub plus 1,200, and they had like 3 subs, 3 knockouts, and for some reason it was crazy, But yeah, I think that this fight is like probably a pass as far as money line. Mr. Blonde got a great line, and props to him. But I see you were closing like minus 200 here, and probably at that point it's like probably a dog pass even at this point. So it's a tough fight. I don't like that Ewert was dead off like from the weight loss, and yeah. So I guess Dixon. Yeah, that was a big comment, Raymond.
Yeah, well, yeah, he was a tongue in cheek, so I was gonna let you deliberate too much on that. Let's go on, if you don't mind, BB. If you're done with that one.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
For me, it's a prop fight. That one.
Well, you did say though it might go up to 200. I know that what Mr. Blonde said. I mean, whether it was an exchange bet or at a book, I mean, it's long gone. But if you're saying he might go up to $2, I mean, I'm not going to pass when I'm looking to get involved in a couple of fights. But that's just me. I'm here to listen to you guys and try to make a pick on the current line. I didn't get Mr. Blonde's newsletter. All right, no, here we go. Let's rock it here right now with these welterweights. Mr. Blonde, you got 25-year-old Ty Miller from the ABQ. He's 5-0 with an LFA victory in there. Also one no contest. That was last time out. He was over a $4 favorite. Accidental eye poke. I watched it. Yeah, if you were in a UFC ring, you're not walking out of there on an eye poke probably, but he did have an LFA win in June at Pick'em. He's a $1.65 favorite here against 30-year-old Jimmy Drago, fighting out of New York, 7-2 with a no contest. 5-2 in ring combat, and he had a title defense. I really wasn't able to figure it out as far as the past performances were concerned, but he did have a win anyway last September, unanimous decision. So fill me in, Mr. Blonde. Where do we stand with these welterweights looking for a contract?
Yeah. This one was a little bit tough for me because I mentioned earlier on the onset gaps in the tape, right? I didn't love what I was able to find on Jimmy Drago. There's just not a ton there. A lot of his ring combat fights were just not available, and without that, it's hard to see him in extended fights for some of his best opponents. But he's kind of a karate stylist, right? He's got a lot of footwork. He's kind of flashy, right? Pretty solid kicks that he features. Light on his feet, bounces in and out. What I don't love about him in this matchup, based upon what I've seen, is he relies a lot on bounding movements, right? Bounding movements forward, back. And he's up against a taller, sharp-shooting boxing type that likes to throw straight, powerful, and right to the target, particularly with his right hand. I think that can get him in trouble here. Ty Miller, I like Miller's tape. I think he looks pretty good, but again, it's not a robust, package of tape, right? He was about Pick'ems versus Charleboy on LFA a couple of years back. I think I bet him there, and that was a nice performance. He had a sweet knockout with the right hand. But again, Pick'ems with Charleboy. Charleboy's a good regional scrapper, but not much more than that. So that kind of shows kind of where the market was at and where perspective was at with him. But he looks good. His boxing looks good. He's tall, right? So he's got a great frame for the weight. And he's pretty short and quick to the target with not a lot of tell on that right hand. I think that'll maybe be the story of this one. Again, Drago with those bounding movements forward, in, out. I think Miller can time something on him. I'm certainly not paying a lot of juice given the gaps in the tape. And Drago, he's got some striking ability, clearly. He's got some experience striking. That's obvious. In the one fight he was knocked out in, it kind of came a little bit weirdly. It wasn't like a traditional striking posture. It was like a grappling sequence where he got taken down, kind of a standing scramble up against the cage, and he got clipped with, I think, a right hand, but he went out badly. I can see that happening again here, but without having more information on Drago's game and how he deals with adversity, I'm just not that comfortable with the spot. If Miller KO was attractive, that could be of interest. But other than that, not in love with the fight. My least favorite fight of the card, I'd say, because of the lack of information. What do you think, Vivek?
Yeah, people are high on this guy, Ty Miller, and I watched his tape. He's a decent fighter. His cardio seems very good. He throws a lot of good head kicks and some decent boxing, but I don't think he's that good. People are saying this guy is gonna be something special. I don't know, man. This guy's pretty hittable. I don't think he's very durable. I've seen him rocked with shots that probably should have rocked him, and I think at UFC level his endurance is a little bit lacking. I think he may get knocked out at UFC level. To be honest, I think he's not defensively very good either. So I wouldn't be surprised if this guy gets body shot knocked out or just with boxing he gets knocked out, clipped. That being said, Jimmy Drago is kind of same. He's even slower than this guy. Thing is with Jimmy, a little bit slow. His punches are kind of okay early, but as the fight goes on, it gets slower and slower. Sometimes just rushes into the range, which I don't like. If you see the last fight, he was completely destroying that guy Junior Melo before the guy found a way out. That was crazy. The guy was could have been stopped before 2 minutes before he got DQ'd or whatever. So I don't think it's a bad performance, but the guy Melo is he was melting and this guy was trying to knock him out, and then he led something and Melo took a way out. It was pretty bad. It was pretty similar to Cody Brandage, for a couple of days ago. That guy pulled the Cody Brandage in that one, man. He was gonna get knocked out, no doubt about it. He was like 1 or 2 shots away, and got clash of heads, and they got busted up, and fight got stopped. But yeah, there should be a win on Drago's record in my book. That's a knockout win. And before that, he fought some guys who are like basically unknown. Like this guy Stewart looked okay, but he's still not very good. Like none of these guys he beat are very good at all. And I think Miller is a faster guy here. He's more dangerous with his kicking. I like his kicks, so I think he'll pass Drago. I think Drago is gonna be competitive here, though. I don't think it's gonna be easy like round or knockout for Miller, but I think he will probably get it later or by decision. So I will take Miller here by like round 2 or 3 knockouts, something like that. But I'm not be surprised if it goes full 15. But in general, man, I don't think both of these guys are like durable enough to be in the UFC. People crack, man. Like if some of the harder hitters at UFC like touch Miller, I think they could knock him out. So even though I think he wins this, like I'm not high on this kid. He has good things people look for, like cardio and volume and all this, but you gotta be durable too. So I think Miller is so far passing this test. Like 4-3 guys and stuff, but at UFC level he may struggle a little bit. So give me Miller, but I'm not betting him.
All right. For Drago, I mean, he better channel his fourth cousin from Russia. This is a fight of his life. He better walk right up to Miller and say, I must break you. All right. Let's go to the next one here, Mr. Blonde, featherweights here with Bradley De Silva, 30-year-old from Vancouver. He's 7-1, 6-0 amassed in Battlefield Fight League. He defended a title 3 times there since winning it in February of 2024. He's up against 21-year-old Australian George Mangos, 7-0, 4-0 in Hexagon Fight Series. He was a 2-time champ there. I couldn't figure that one out either. Maybe you could tell me about Mangos here, who is a $1.50 favorite over Da Silva from Vancouver.
Yeah, Mr. Ball, before you go, shout out to George in the comments, joining for George Mangos fight.
That's right.
Right? George Mangos, George Janeiro. Great time to join,
That's
but
right.
yeah, go on, Mr. Blunt.
Yeah, this is a really good fight, a really good matchup. I taped this today, so they're both fresh in my head. Both talented guys. I was not familiar with George Mangos prior to taping him. Very talented guy. 7-0, mostly finishes. 21 years old, right? So a lot of the tape you're looking at is him at 18, 19 years old. The guy can strike and the guy can grapple, right? He's a pretty smooth technician on the feet. He can lead, he can counter. He's got a diverse set of kicks, and he can grapple some too. He showed a body triangle, he showed a sub game. Mostly he's just handling business and had, mostly easy fights where he cruised. The one fight that was obviously the most relevant to this one was that really tough fight with Van Heerden, right? Where, in my opinion, he was down 0-2. He was getting wrestled there. Not like he was getting humiliated in the wrestling department, but he was getting stifled. This was June of 2024, so he's maybe 19 or 20 years old at that point. He was getting taken down. He was giving up his back because he was impatient about how he was getting up. And Van Heerden has a body triangle. He had a decent control game. And, that fight's deep in round 3. He's looking like he'd be a plus 5,000 live underdog. His back is up against the cage. He looks tired. And he jumps guard right into a triangle and manages to secure a tap with just a couple seconds left in that fight. So the guy's definitely got a competitive edge, a flair for the dramatic. And I would think that would be the kind of experience he would learn from. Again, this guy's pretty versatile, right? I've seen him, predominantly a grappler in some fights, doing good work on top and having an aggressive, really good back take into a sub game. I like his striking. I like his countering game, like the kicks, like his ability to fight out of both stances. So this is a talented dude, no doubt. He's going to be in the UFC. I have no doubt about that. But his opponent, Radley De Silva, I've liked as well on that Canadian scene. he's been very, very effective with his wrestling, top game, and grappling. And these Canadian guys can't withstand that at all. Most of his tape is just him dominating from on top, wrestling with urgency, and just stifling guys either via backpack or on top. He hasn't had many tough fights that I've seen. But in his last couple, he's shown off some striking too. He's a pretty strong guy. He's an athletic guy. Highlight reel KO over Randall with that beautiful spinning back kick. So they're kind of reasonably well matched everywhere. I'd have less confidence in De Silva's striking game over a long extended span, but I'd probably have a little bit more confidence in his wrestling and control game than Mango's. I don't love either of their respective competition on the Aussie scene versus the Canadian scene. I think they're well matched. Clearly, given Mangos' age and ability to improve quick, given like how deep his base is between the striking and the grappling, I tend to favor him a little bit. I think that minus 150 price, which it was last time I was looking, is right on the money to me. I think that's about the number. I'd make him a slight favorite. But again, given the struggles that he had in that one fight with Van Heerden, it's not hard to picture De Silva getting his ground game going, stifling him, sticking to him. And if he hasn't made improvements there, he's going to struggle here. So not a lot of conviction. I wish I had more. I think the line is spot on. If it got to maybe pick him, I'd be interested in Mangos. Or if the line expanded significantly and De Silva got to like the heights he was maybe a few days ago, I think it was plus 70, plus 180. I think he becomes interesting. But right now where it's at, I think it's just about right. What do you think?
Yeah, pretty much you said everything I wanted to say. One thing with this guy Radley is that this guy actually retired. You know that like in 2019 actually retired to do acting. I think he was in few movies, and then he was out for like I think 4 years. Let me see, I could be wrong. Yeah, so his last fight was 2019. Then he comes back in 2023. So this guy at some point left fighting, but he's a very talented fighter, honestly. I was, I'm pretty sure this guy was a big underdog to this guy, Mike McAloon. I actually bet him in that fight. He was a big underdog to that guy. The guy was a big fight. I think it was 5-1 at that point, So they were like thinking, this guy is, acting and, doing this like movies and all this. And this guy's probably going to come here and get finished by this guy. But this guy, even though he wasn't the best shape, like, next couple of fights, he looked better, He still was able to wrestle. He was still landing some big strikes, and he was able to win 29-28, I believe, in that one. Maybe 30-27, I got it watched, but he was dominant, at some points. So, I was impressed in that performance. I don't think he's going to go back to acting anymore or anything. And, I think he's going to be fine here. I think that his knockouts, he got the spinning wheel kick, and, those are cool, but for the most part, they only happen in the, lower level leagues and stuff like that. His grappling is decent, but it's more like opportunistic grappling. He's like wrestling is not amazing. It's more like back takes and trip takedowns and body lock takedowns. And I like a lot of things about him. As far as George Mangos, like as Mr. Blunt mentioned, like that fight, with Van Heerden, like Van Heerden is very experienced. He has 25 fights, so even if he lost, that wouldn't be the worst thing, But still, it's not a good look, because if Rodley gets there, he may finish him. If Rodley gets to those positions, he may choke him out. So I would be like a little bit hesitant laying this minus 150 on it because this fight to me looks like a pick'em. Like both of them can easily win. It's probably whoever brings the best game plan wins. If somebody has like a solid game plan they want to do, probably they're gonna be winning here. So hard for me to pick anybody. Like Bangos again, 21 years old. Like that's the thing about him. 21 is so young. Like he's also like in this gym I've never heard of though. Like this Lion Ten Academy. I never heard of the gym. I don't like Mr. Blunt. Do you know that gym at all?
No,
never heard of the gym. Like I look at this guy he's training with like not the best like training partners I don't think, but to be fair, like JDM doesn't have the like champions, but he became a champion, right? So it's like sometimes it's not the end of the world, but yeah, this gym I've never heard of, but yeah, tape looks okay on Mangos. He's a good striker. He mixes up pretty well. If you give him the neck, he's probably gonna choke you out. Same with Radley, they're kind of similar in that way. So I'm gonna go with Mangos, but like if he like honestly, if they give me like pick him, I would probably still not bet him. I think it could be a fight where we're just missing a lot of info on both of them, and somebody is going to look like a massive favorite here. Mangos could finish him, Mangos could knock him out, and all this, but the other guy looks tough and he has good endurance. He's been taking some big shots in some of these fights, and he's not an easy guy to fight. And physicality wise, I think he's a little bit more physical than Mangos too. I think Mangos is like I think it's the same size as far as the height goes, but Radley to me looks a little bit more physical. So I don't know.
I agree.
I'm gonna take Radley here. My Mango's here, but it's a very very close fight. So not confident.
I agree. The one last thing I would say about that, and I agree with you're right. I think Radley looks bigger to me, a little bit more physically imposing.
Yeah.
And one thing about Mangos that I didn't love, especially for this matchup, guy can strike, right? He can box. When he boxes, he's oftentimes very blitzy and he's stance switchy, and he gets a little square on his multi-punch attacks. Does not seem difficult for – I can easily picture Radley timing a level change on one of those square entries, taking him down. And once he's down, again, I haven't really seen anybody do well in the face of that for Radley. Again, part of that's a function of competition.
Right.
But that's where I can see Radley timing a really nice reactive shot and maybe troubling Mangos on the ground. I wouldn't pay any juice, but as a pick, gun to head, I'd go Mangos.
Yeah, because of the upside, people at 21, 22, 23, they look like drastically better on every fight. That's the thing here. That's why he's probably a favorite than a pick him, right? Because this kid could be a lot better in a few years, Like, it's gonna be tough though because again, Radley is very like even though he has 8 fights, he a little bit like looks like a more seasoned guy to me for a reason. I don't know. And
maybe in accordance to what you're saying, I mean,
do
you think in Contender Series, guys, that obviously the tail of the tape will be the age gap, and we know it's sometimes in the regular UFC two-thirds winners when you have at least 6, 7, 8 years here like this one.
I don't know. So sometimes I don't really understand Contender Series matchmaking. Like I don't know what they're trying to do with this Panfero guy coming back, or even this guy Tala coming back. Are they feeding them to these people, fighters, or they just I don't know what they're doing. But yeah, Mangos is 9 years younger here. That makes sense for a fighter where like 30 years old is not that old. Like let's be honest, it's not bad, but I agree that Mangos is UFC level. I think he could beat some guys right now. But thing is, Radley is a little bit like physically more imposing than Mangos. So it's like if Mangos can get his striking going, his jab going, and win moments, maybe he could probably win. But I would be surprised if the same thing happens: is winning the fight and Radley may catch him. In this case, the other way around or something like that. So I don't know. Give me Mango like ends by sub. I see Ozzy Pfeiffer in the comments that he thinks Mango sub is tough. I think ends by sub is better than Mango sub. But I don't think Mango sub is gonna be like anything better than plus 300-400 though. So I'm not gonna bet that. It's not like Radley can grapple. So yeah.
Okay.
Dixon is going crazy in the comments, by the way.
Yeah, Dixon's off the rails, not us. I mean, come on. I think the one great thing about this card, guys, maybe just for a great fan like me, is that we got closely rated fights. Where the average price is north of $3, if not higher.
Very much agree.
Okay, BB, let's get ready. Get ready for that main event right now, if we can. Going to middleweights here in this one with 28-year-old Frenchman Ilian Buapia. Yeah, that's it. I've watched a few of those fights on YouTube. Getting ready for this one. 6-0, 3-0 in Aries Fighting Championships, including a co-main win last out. Unanimous decision win at -175. But before that, a highlight reel finish, a round 1 finish in Hexagon that a lot of people were taking note of. He's up here against 27-year-old Brazilian Nemia Santana, 7-2-1 with an LFA victory. He scored a second-round knockout of VB back in March at -150. So middleweights here in the main event.
Yeah, before we talk about the last one, I want to thank our sponsor, SXBet, of course. This week, they don't have the lines for the contender series. Most of the books don't. They're kind of catching up. So I'm pretty sure next week we're going to be betting some of these fights live. And yeah, as far as this week goes, I think they have one or two fights, but not the others. So that's that. To perform next week, I hope they add. I think they will. But yeah, it's the main event. It's an interesting fight. Like, this is the one that I actually take pretty deep. Like, this guy, like Nemias, man. Like, I was impressed with a lot of the things Nemias was doing. Like, he has so much power in his hands. If this guy cracks you, he may knock you out like unconscious. I don't care who you are. He has a lot of power. And the guy he fought Marcos. The guy actually he fought him before, and it was a draw. He like caught him in that fight too, I think, and he was walking him down all fight. I bet him there. I think he was close the line and or something, and he walked that guy down. He hold him in the first round couple times. The guy was running at some points. He was walking him down with no respect, and he then knocks him out in round two brutally. And you could tell the knockout was coming. The guy couldn't like do anything. He couldn't throw back. If he even landed, Nemias didn't care at all. So I was impressed with Santana, man. This guy is like durable. He's big. He hits very hard. He walks you down. He doesn't care if you hit him back. He's like, he wants to fight. So I was impressed with this guy. I'm kind of surprised he's underdog. Like, I know he should be an underdog. I'm just saying he's like a big underdog. So plus 190. I mean, that looks crazy to me. One thing about like Nemias and in general about fighters, like, you see them fight. Like, let's say they are 22, 23, 24, right? Like, they're starting their careers for the most part at that age, right? So they have 5-6 fights, and they have close fights. Probably you think, oh, this guy should beat him easy. Oh, he should do this. He should get this win, and they make it close. They sometimes lose even. They have a draw, But there is a moment in fighters' like career where they turn the page. You know what I mean? Like, they start to fight better. They find something, like, and like even the girl who fought last week, Justin Edwards, right? 1 year ago, she wasn't what she is right now. She's hitting her prime. You know what I mean? Like, 1 year ago, she wasn't finishing everybody. Like, she wasn't knocking people out. She lost to Ellen Perez. In this today, I think she would beat Ellen Perez if they rematch. So same with Santana here, man. I think Santana found something that's improved him. Maybe it's better diet or the vegetables and all that. I don't know what it is. But Santana to me recently looks much more dangerous, more calm, more confident, And I think he's a live underdog. Ilian is a good fighter. I think Ilian technically could be a better boxer, I would say. He has more volume too. Sometimes just walks you down, looks for the one big shot for the most part, and 1-2s. Ilian, a little bit more than that, but at the same time, he fought this guy Grassa. He couldn't like finish him, I know they stopped it at round 2, but it looks like at any time he could have knocked him out, and Grassa was wobbling all over the cage, but he couldn't like find a kill shot, which I didn't like. I thought he was gonna knock the guy out in the first 2 minutes, to be honest. The guy's 43 years old, I think. So the fact that he took that guy almost to like third round and the corner stopped him or whatever, not the most impressive. Then he fights this guy, kind of 4-4 guy. This guy Federico 5-4 guy. Not the most impressive. The best guy he fought this guy, big guy, who I don't think he's that good either. I took him to a decision. So this line to me looks off. I think Santana is very live here. I think Santana could knock him out. I think Santana could win a decision based on moments. This line goes up. I'm gonna add more. I mean, at this point, I think it's like maybe a small favorite for Buifa because of the hype and everything. But Santana, to me, as I said, man, sometimes fighters find this small thing that helps them win fights, and I think Santana found it. I think he's gonna be going better and better from now on, and I'm gonna be picking the underdog here in the main event. What you think? You disagree?
No, I don't disagree with anything that you said. At the price, I would have to err towards Santana as well. As a pick, I'd take Boafia, right? So Boafia, you look at him, he looks the part, right? 6'5", athletically built, pretty smooth technical boxing, southpaw stance, uses the jab to set things up, pretty light on his feet. He looks the part. You watch him for 30 seconds, you know, okay, this guy's got some game, he's got some ability. The question is, how tough is he in the face of pressure? What happens if he hits the ground? Those kind of details, right? Santana, you look at him for 30 seconds, you know, awkward footwork, doesn't look as athletically fluid as Boafia, a little bit heavy on his feet, switching stances, but sometimes aimlessly, kind of drifting, applying pressure, but not quite getting there and seeming a little bit lost in space. And then he finds the pocket. And once he finds the pocket, my goodness, this guy is nuclear in both hands. So if you give this guy a target, if you're going to stay still or back yourself up, you know, good luck, you know, because this guy throws hammers. He throws them hard and he'll keep throwing them hard. Boafia, you know, I haven't seen him really in with a formidable power punching guy like this. He is the more technical guy, so I tend to err to the more technical guy. You know, the one time I saw him get rocked, it was when he had hurt a guy and he was pursuing the finish and he kind of walked into something. It wasn't a big deal, but that just showed, you know, some vulnerability there. It doesn't seem like either would have the wrestling goods to make a concerted effort to get on top, or if they did, would be a huge threat there. You know, I've seen Santana throw some nice ground and pound and finish off folks there, but I wouldn't think this would be about wrestling. I think this would be about striking, right? So I think the minute winning, you know, I think Boafia wins if nothing happens. But if it gets dramatic, if it gets exciting, Santana's really, really live there. And I do agree he's on like an upward trajectory. He really reminds me of somebody. And the whole time you were talking about it, I couldn't quite put my finger on what fighter it was, but he reminds me of somebody, like not the most elegant, not the best footwork, a little flat-footed, but once he gets in the pocket, he rips, man. The guy is nuclear. So again, as a pick, I would take Boafia. I sure as heck wouldn't be playing minus 235. Not even close. Santana at plus 190. I'm sniffing around a little bit. I haven't played it yet. I'm looking at it, but we're going to see what the line goes. At this price, I don't think I'm going to play it, but if there's any kind of significant swings from here, I could get tempted. So that's my 2 cents. And also, there's a couple fights I haven't watched of his. I didn't see his loss. I watched the draw, but only kind of in a fast-forward quality. This was the last fight I taped before you hit me up about, you know, looking to have me come on. So ideally, I would have taken a little bit further. But that's my 2 cents on it based upon what I've seen.
Yeah, and you know, the thing is with like this guy, Buffet is like he only has 5-6 fights. Also, it's not like he's more experienced or anything like that. And yeah, he's 6'5". He's gonna be a taller guy, but Santana is 6'2". He's not like small either. Mm-hmm. And you know, like people are gonna say in the comments, like if this guy loses, oh, you know, there is no way. 1 year ago he had to draw with that guy. You know, again, fighters improve. We've seen from 1 year huge improvements happen. You know, like look at Justin Edwards. 1 year ago, Elin Perez beats her, drops her. Now she's completely different fight. You can't tell me the Elin Edwards 2024 is same as now, or even like Ferris Ziam, right? Like he gets destroyed by McKinney in round 1, gets choked out. You know, a year and a half later, he's taking people down. You know what I mean? Such a big improvement for 25, 26-year-old fighters in 1 year even. So there is something that Santana found, I think, that's going to make him more dangerous. Whether it's more confidence in his power or his hands, I don't know. But if people think like he's not live, I don't know how can you come up with that, you know? Like he's one-punch KO power. He has good striking. He's very durable, in my opinion. He has good chin, too. One thing would be cardio, maybe. But Bufia's cardio is also untested. Like I've never seen Bufia like pushed at all. You know, maybe Santana can push him and knock him out like in round 3. It could happen. So this line is crazy, in my opinion. You know, like I'm gonna take Santana and tape like Bufia more. I guess if there's some other fights are missed, but I think I've watched all of his fights. It's like fast finishes. This Grasa fight was the one he was winning and couldn't get like a knockout, but doesn't have like many fights, like 15 minutes of tape almost, So it's like 1-2 minute fights, for the most part. So the big guy decision was whatever. I mean, he did well, 30-27, but yeah. I think Santana is probably gonna knock him out if he wins. If it goes to decision, I would favor Babufia. He may mix in some cage pushing and stuff like that. But at this line, I think that is crazy. Jesus Christ, man. But I'm gonna call him Nemius. Nemius is gonna win the fight, And yeah, let's go with Nemius. By actually late finish. It's a hot take, right? But I think he'll get a finish late here.
That's not hard for me to picture either. And one thing I would say for folks that are taping it, that JP Silva fight that Nemius had just 2 fights ago in SFT Combat, that was another tall guy, physically imposing, physically impressive and imposing, commanding distance pretty well, light on his feet. That's a pretty decent proxy for Buafia. And it didn't start that pretty for him. Again, at distance, he was a little bit lost for a couple of minutes of round 1. Once he started stepping on it and getting a little bit more comfortable, getting into range and applying pressure, he put it on him. So that, if folks are looking to do some tape and watching fights, that's the one I would look at versus Joao Paulo Silva, SFT Combat. Take a look at that one. Pretty impressive, kind of built into that fight well. But it should be a good fight. I'm looking forward to it. I still want to do a little bit more tape on that one. But I kind of agree with your take conceptually. Like my inherent bias is to the more technical guy, right? So like when nothing is happening, I think Buafia is looking pretty good. I think the onus is on Nemius kind of to make something big and exciting happen. And if he's struggling to do that, he's not going to win. That's the way I see it. But if he gets going downhill, Buafia is going to be tested. He's going to have to absorb some shots and have to deal with some pressure that there hasn't been many instances or any instances of him dealing with before. So good fight, good main event, good card overall. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, I agree. And like again, Buffet can win. Like I don't need again. I think he should probably be a small favorite, but I would argue Santana even faced a better competition than Bufa. Like some of these guys are better than anybody really. Ilias faced. Ilian faced the guy, big guy who is a good striker, but he's nothing more than that. He's a kickboxer who just he was able to land big shots and stuff, but. Besides that, he faced literally like lowest of the low. He never really beat anybody. He probably had a good manager, and facing these guys, in errors and 43-year-old this guy crossed. So Santana again, man. I think he's in his prime. He's entering his prime. He's gonna be dangerous, So plus 190, we'll see about that. I'm gonna go with Santana.
All right, high-level stuff, guys, for the opening of Dana White's Contender Series on Tuesday night here from the Apex in Las Vegas on August 12th. VB, great job by Mr. Blonde, who you might notice isn't blonde at all, but
Cold the morning steam, it's time to break one for cover. That's gonna cover, that's gonna cash. Then we make the 100-yard dash to the window. I don't know what you thought. It's Ramon Scott running so hot. Sports make money and we make money with sports money every single day. NFL, NHL, NCAA. Stay away from the juice or might play a parlay. It's the morning steam. What? Ramon Scott. Sports money. What? Wake your ass up and let's get to the money. Get to the money. Know how we do it.
all right, a very pleasant good morning to you coming from the sports betting capital of the world, Las Vegas. This is Ramon Scott, and welcome to the Morning Steam show here for Tuesday, August the 12th. We're ready for Major League Baseball full card today. 2 games in the WNBA. Thank you for watching VB MMA picks for Dana White Contender Series tonight. We played it tonight. I tried to play it on the right channel. Hopefully Mike got my message there. I started the wrong show, but we'll get that on track. And we're going to be here tonight for live coverage on the Sports Money Network for UFC Dana White's Contender Series season debut tonight here on the Sports Money Network. So make sure you check us out and get those fights. Hey, if you didn't want to go back, and what a guest we had on that show, right? Mr. Blonde. Absolutely terrific in breaking down those 5 fights. I mean, that's the thing with the Contender Series. You got guys coming in from all sorts of organizations, backgrounds, and capabilities. These guys broke 5 fights down. If you want to go back and check it out, VB MMA Picks brought to you by SXBet, the world's largest blockchain betting exchange. So check that out with the fight coverage coming up here tonight on the Sports Money Network. Would have a companion coverage for Dana White's Contender Series, and I think the guys will have some picks as well, and that'll be our featured Tuesday night coverage here. We'll also have other events going on as well, Major League Baseball, WNBA. Thanks for joining me here on the show. Appreciate it. Say hello to some folks in the chat today. Not too much going on in the chat, but Razor was here. He was the one who told me I screwed up. So thank you, Razor. I saw that right away after you said that. So we got it on the right show, but I'll see if we can continue doing this if I keep screwing it up. Good morning, Cash Kane here as well. Laker Boy here today, talking about the action from last night. Robert McCormick as well. Zach Hatton is here. Irish King, Flea Mathis, thank you. And AOD is ready as well today, as well as Thomas Bird. And he says, how about that game last night there with the – well, let's take a look at some of the action here last night. But, I think we had that one pretty good there. We had the Valkyries as our pick on the show yesterday, and hopefully you caught me on the happy hour over there at Tony's Picks, where I gave out the under in that game between Connecticut and Golden State. So, when the game was crummy, that's when I get it exactly right. We had it right yesterday, Golden State and the under yesterday. Let's see. Oh, there's a T-Bird. There's what T-Bird says. Suns and Valkyries gave 34 points at halftime. All right. Hey, we'll look over some of the other coverage here and see who's also commenting in the chat. But let's run down some of the winners, please, from yesterday, if you don't mind. We did have in the big game between Minnesota and the Yankees, double winner. Hopefully you catch me every day over on Cover the Spread here on YouTube. I'm joined by Rod Zawacki and Al Ninos for a trio, and we make a bunch of picks over there on 3 separate games, and I had the Yankees on that run line yesterday as my main pick over Minnesota as the Yankees continue to drub Minnesota at home. It's got to be a mental block at this point for Minnesota, losing pretty much every time for the last several years when playing at the Yankees 6-2 win. We did have the under here on the Morning Steam show yesterday. We also had the Milwaukee Brewers yesterday on that run line over Pittsburgh in the easy 7-1 victory with Quintana was pitching, right? And had the win there in that one. Also here on the show yesterday, we had the under with Detroit and the White Sox yesterday, and that one definitely went under for our show winner in the 2-1 victory for the Detroit Tigers. We also had Detroit as a premium pick, a sports money premium pick here yesterday as our pick. Also, we had Kansas City here on the show yesterday. Kansas City over Washington. They clubbed them 7-4, actually, in that one for a winner here on the Morning Steam show. Also, we had Houston yesterday on the Morning Steam in the game against Boston with Crochet and Javier. High score for sure. Jeff had the over in that game on his premium pick. So shout out to MMA Jeff. He had the over in the Houston-Boston game. We gave you Houston on the run line, but they won the game. Also, a winner yesterday for my Padres. We gave it away. We gave it out here on the show in the 4-1 victory. Darvish, another strong game for Darvish. Padres just one game back of the Giants right now. Of the Dodgers, whatever team that is in first place, they are fading fast. The Dodgers lost again last night. They can't figure out the Angels. Angels won it 7-4. We also had the under over there in the happy hour with the Padres and the Giants yesterday in that game, but the Dodgers are feeling the pressure. They're just 12-19 since July 3rd and now hold just a one-game lead over the Padres, yet they're still minus 450 to win the division. Padres are 3-1, just one game back. The odds makers maybe haven't adjusted yet, or they just figure they're the Dodgers. They'll still win the division. Anyways, Padres, Jackson Merrill, so close. Just go for three. Merrill, he had a double. I called him to hit a triple yesterday as a prop, but he had 3 hits, including an RBI double. So I think we were on the right guy. Freddie Fermin, 2-run home run for the Padres there in that one. Logan Webb was dominant. There's no doubt, 4 or 5 innings, but he got knocked out in the 6th inning. So, all right, maybe just a little look there at some of the games there yesterday on the scoreboard, some of the highlights of maybe some of the games we didn't mention as well. Philadelphia's Kyle Schwarber, MVP. Did someone say 42nd home run there in that one? Also, some other games we didn't mention, Colorado and the Rockies as the Cardinals won again. Brendan Donovan, a 2-run double in that one. Arizona and Texas, Wyatt Langford, 3-run home run in that one. And late night, it was Tampa Bay getting the win behind Morel's home run, I think, there yesterday over the Athletics. So, okay. Thank you for joining me here in the chat. And a few more here right now with Public Enemy showing here today as well. It says teams aren't performing very consistently right now. We'll see what happens when we get back here on a Tuesday with the action. All right. Hey, everyone, you can get those plays from me every day. Some of those winners that I had yesterday when you visit me over at winnable.com/Ramon. You can get my best sports money premiums here every day, like some of the winners that we did have yesterday, like the Detroit Tigers. There is a premium pick winner here yesterday. We'll have some other winners as well over at winnable.com/Ramon. So please check me out over there and check out the guys as well. Click on the QR code in the lower right-hand corner of the screen. That'll take you over to my Winnable page and get signed up. Use the promo code STEAM to save 20% off all premium pick packages, including mine over there at winnable.com. The guys are on there too. That's our trio of handicappers here on the Sports Money Network. Get them over at winnable.com. Use the promo code STEAM to save 20% off of my premium pick packages, but also we're going to be running a promo here to start the season with the Sports Money crew just to get ready for the NFL. When you use the promo code NFL25, if you get a 6-month plan from me and use the promo code NFL25, I'll extend it for 2 more months. The guys are doing it too, so get 8 months of plays for a very reasonable price over there at winnable.com. Use the promo code NFL25.
It's your boy, Mikey Money. I'm inviting you to join the Sports Money crew on Winnable. Get all of our premium best bet selections.
For a low monthly cost, you get the very best bets delivered instantly to your phone by text the moment they're locked in. No delays, no missed lines, just the smartest plays at the best odds.
We do the work, you get the plays sent straight to your phone right when you need them.
Don't wait, don't guess, don't miss the line. Join the winning team today and start cashing tickets with Winnable.
All right, great job, Mikey, on that, and ready to go here with the show. Thank you very much for joining me here today. All right, wants to thank the folks in the chat getting us started here right now with the best chatters, the best chat. Our Sports Money All-Stars, AOD, T-Bird, Public Enemy, Zach Hatton in there as well. Thank you, everyone, for coming in. We also, who else do we have in there this morning? Laker Boy in there, Cash Kane, Robert McCormick, Flea Mathis, Nuke Worker, and Irish King. Make sure you like this video, subscribe to our channel, Sports Money, here on YouTube. Just moments ago, some steam came in the game between Atlanta and the New York Mets. They steamed it here a little bit to the under just moments ago with Strider and Holmes. I can't believe we were denied the Holmes matchup again. Right now we're seeing that total down to 8/15 as we get started here with the show. First up, we've got the Mariners taking on the Orioles here in Baltimore. You got George Kirby going for the Mariners and Dean Kramer for the Orioles. This one's up big time here. The Mariners are the ones taking the action here this morning, up to $1.65 or so here, and at least 10 more cents on the Mariners here this morning. Taking a little action. The steam came in on the over, but it is just 9 over at -115 or -120, and it was a little higher than that, interestingly enough. Let me pop it up there, but I do find that interesting. It's actually, the steam came in on the over, but I think it's gone down a little bit. Let's break it down. See what we have here with these two. We know we've got a pretty okay pitching matchup here with George Kirby going anyway, but he hasn't been quite maybe what everyone expects of Kirby, but still with these numbers, not awful. Take a look here right now with these two. You've got a guy like Kirby coming in here, currently at 7-5, 4.04 ERA, 1.12 WHIP, 234 batting average against, and a 291 BABIP coming into this one for Dean Kramer. He's 8-8 with a 4.35 ERA. He's 7-12 to the under this season. The Orioles are 9-13 in his starts. Mariners are 9-5 in Kirby's starts. For Kramer, 4.35 ERA, 1.27 WHIP, 260 batting average against, and a 298 BABIP. Take a look at some of the trends, and then you can get your plays in this one. Seattle comes in hot, having won 7 in a row right now. Baltimore still has won 6 of their last 9 at home, but have lost 5 of their last 7 games overall. Seattle's just 1-6 in their last 7 games against Baltimore. Seattle's gone under in 6 of their last 7 on the road. Baltimore's gone under in 4 of their last 5. 5 of the last 6 meetings between the two teams have gone under in this matchup. But let's see what you guys have here. Seattle has gone over in 6 of the last 8. And, well, let's take a look at the plays in the chat. It's going to be Cash Kane. He says O's on the run line here and over. Robert likes the over here as well. And let's see here. Cash Kane says the bats are kind of even here with these two. And Terrell, good morning. Home run parlay yesterday with Soderstrom there. All right. Man, you guys are going hard there. It looks like a little bit on Baltimore, but I'm going to have to take Seattle here. I'm going to take them on the run line, actually. I've got Seattle red hot right now, and I think it continues here with Kirby against Kramer. Next up, the Phillies are going to be on the road, taking on the Reds. Game 2 of the series here. We saw yesterday the Phillies take care of it, even though Andrew Abbott was very, very strong in his outing. The Phillies were able to get the win eventually there, 4-1. For the Phillies today, it'll be Ranger Suarez going. He's 8-5 with a 2.94 ERA, 1.14 WHIP, 238 batting average against, a 294 BABIP for Brady Singer here. He is 9-9 with a 4.53 ERA. These two pitchers are a combined 12 and 24 to the under this season. Singer has a 1.34 whip, 251 batting average against, and a 301 BABIP. Philadelphia comes in here having won 7 of their last 8 games overall. Coming in, Phillies ready to do some damage. They've won 5 of their last 6 on the road. They've beaten Cincinnati in 4 of the last 5 matchups between these two teams. Cincinnati's gone under in 8 of their last 10. Philadelphia's gone under in 5 of their last 6. And the series has gone under in 4 of the last 5 meetings between the two teams. Cincinnati has gone under in 12 of their last 14 games at home. I don't know if it's going under. Let's see what you guys have in the chat. In this one with Philadelphia and Cincinnati. And it's going to be Irish King. Oh, he's on that Seattle game there. And let's see, Robert here on the over. I think he means this game. I'm not sure. They both had 9s, I think, right now. 9 over. I'm listing here in this way. A 9 over. I'm listing. Yeah, let me fix this too, because this total has gone up in this Philadelphia Cincinnati game. We're definitely looking at 9 over, even higher than 9 over 20 here at this point. This one continues to move higher today. And I don't know, that's kind of the way I was thinking, but the line's kind of getting away here a little bit. All right, a few more comments here, I think, in the old chat. I don't know now. It's kind of going high here. All right, let's see here. Got hello to D Money in the chat. Essex, nice to see you again there, Essex. A Public Enemy does like the over. That was in the Orioles game, though. 9 Legacy likes Seattle on the run line in that one. Did I go too far? Here we go with D Money likes Philadelphia and the under here. Irish Kings on Philly money line and under. And Essex likes Singer because he gives up all those runs. All right, Robert says, yeah, the Phillies game on that second one there, and 9 Legacy. Phillies on the run line. And Cash King says, if Abbott could not do it, betting Singer to record a win. I do like Singer here, but not here. Okay, I don't know if I even said that or read that right. All right, better make my call here in this one between Philadelphia and Cincinnati here today. And look, pretty big line here now. Let me bring it back up on the screen here with the line. I think, yeah, pretty much $1.55 still, it looks like in this one. So, man, I kind of want to take this run line here with the Reds. Actually, I'm going to take the Reds on the run line with Singer today. Philly's hot. They got it done yesterday. Reds were winning there for 1-0. Then 1-0. The pitchers were going at it, and then the Phillies were able to get those runs and win. I'm going to try Cincinnati again here on the show, just like we didn't have them here on the show yesterday, but I was on Cincinnati. All right, next up, we've got the Marlins taking on the Guardians here with Jansen Junk. He's up against Allen here for the Guardians for Junk. We've talked about his rapid improvement here. 6-2 record. Miami's 7-2 with Junk on the mound. 3.97 ERA, 1.12 WHIP, 267 batting average against, and a 3.10 BABIP. For Allen, the left-hander, he's 7-9 with a 4.04 ERA. He's 8-12 to the under. 1.3 WHIP, 260 batting average against, and a 292 BABIP here for Allen. For the Marlins, they come in here having lost 4 of their last 5 games. Cleveland's won 5 of their last 6 games overall, and they've won 4 of their last 5 at home. Miami's gone under in 5 of their last 7 on the road. Guardians have won 10 of the last 15 meetings between these two teams. 4 of the last 5 games between the teams have gone under here in Cleveland. The widely reported steam did come in on the under in this game. Currently, I'm showing the Guardians favored here at minus $1.30 or so, and the total 9 under 20. So a little bit of a discount here for the Guardians. It didn't work out in all the games against the White Sox, but speaking about yesterday's game there, right? Was it yesterday? No. Maybe it was the series finale was on Monday, right? It was Sunday. Let's see here. All right, we'll call it 9 under 20 right now, and the Guardians here down to $1.30. That seems like a pretty okay price for this one. Let's see what you guys have in the chat here between Miami and the Guardians on Tuesday. Comments coming in from the chat. It's going to be Public Enemy first. Oh, he liked Philly in that last game. Thank you. Robert's on the Marlins here, but Nine Legacy says Guardians on the member. That's why they changed the name to the Guardians, because they didn't have to change all the. Their Indians were so cheap. They just said the uniform, it said Indians, and then now they just said, "Oh, just replace the Indy part with Guardy," and then it was Guardians, so they didn't have to fix the jerseys there too much. All right. Let's see here. Cleveland again for D-Money. Fernando says Marlins first 5, and so does Cash Kane. There's some Marlins support in here for sure. Today, I'm not sure I can do it, actually. There, especially at this price, kind of going down a little bit. I mean, yeah, Cleveland. Marlins have had their moments too, but hey, good morning to Sports Money. Thank you, Sports Money. Here's Irish King, Cleveland money line, team total over here right now. All right, I got to make my call in this one. Let's see here. Under here for Cash Kane, junk should deal. I mean, he's a junk dealer, like Sanford and Son. Remember when we used to have Ron Hahn in here and we could do the Sanford and Son song? All right, I'm thinking about fading this steam, though, here. Like I said, this is another one where the total here is, it's gone down a little bit, 9 under at minus 120 here between these two teams. Give me the over here. I'm going over in this one with Miami and Cleveland. All right. Well, the market's kind of news. No, inflation was unchanged. Okay. Next up, we've got the Twins taking on the Yankees here, and Carlos Rodon. He's about a 225 favorite. I think the Twins pitching plans. Let me get them straight here. All right, there we go. And let's make sure we have the right pitching matchup. Might end up being an opener. It feels like here for Minnesota with Hatch as the expected pitcher here for the Twins today. For Thomas Hatch, the former Blue Jay. I mean, he's mostly a reliever here so far this season. So he comes in right now into this start here with currently a 3.38 ERA in 2 games, 5.1 innings pitched. So I imagine he could go a couple of innings here today for the Twins, but does feel like a lot of bullpen today for Minnesota as they go up here against Guardians Allen. Wake up, Ramon, against the Yankees, Rodon. There we go. I had the wrong graphic up. And all right. For Rodon, he comes in here 11-7 on the season. 3.35 ERA, 109 whip, 192 batting average against, and a 236 BABIP. Strong numbers for sure. here. And for the Twins today, let's see, you'll probably see after Hatch, you're going to see, I would imagine, Travis Adams in there probably next. The Twins did use a couple guys yesterday pretty extensively. I would imagine after that you'd get maybe Cody Funderburk could be one of the pitchers to come in there. He just threw 9 pitches on Sunday, so that might be some of the combo. It does seem like they're going to need a few innings here from Hatch. For the Twins here, they have won 4 of their last 6 games, but they have lost 8 straight games to the Yankees. Particularly here, it's just very, very troublesome. The Twins just don't win here against the Yankees right now. They're actually on a long losing streak against the Yankees also at the stadium. Yankees have still dropped 7 of their last 10, but they have won 5 of their last 7 games at home. Minnesota's gone over in 8 of their last 12, including 5 of their last 6 on the road. 5 of the last 7 meetings between the two teams have gone under. I'm taking the Yankees. They just are dominating this series right now. They own Minnesota at home for sure. And I'm going to take the Yankees here on the run line today once again. We'll go to the chat. I may have jumped the gun there against you guys, but let's see what you guys have here. Essex is here. He'll be on the Twinkies today. And Nine Legacy says Yankees get the wrong line in this one. The wrong line. They probably should be 300. I think maybe that's what Nine Legacy's saying. And Terrell says one of these teams can score. Oh, he's talking about the Miami-Cleveland game. I think he likes a high score there in that one. And I do too. Cash Kane says take the Twins right now in this one. He also says their Jazz will hit a home run. Keith says Yankees team total over first 5 and run line. D-Money, Yankees money line and Judge to homer today. After Jazz popped one, there was Jazz's home run. Public Enemy can't trust the Yankees, but they might sweep them here. Yeah, this is just a dominating series here. Bobby Mack says go over in this one, and Essex says there should be $3 probably here right now, especially the way the Twins are fading. Next up, the Cubs are taking on the Blue Jays with Ben Brown. He's up against Jose Berrios here in this one, and we've got for Brown giving up that long ball consistently. Hey, he's 5-7 with a 6 ERA. Brown's 10-3 to the over in his starts this season. 1.4 whip, 280 batting average against, at 348 BABIP. For Berrios here, he's 8-4. The Blue Jays are 16-8 with Berrios on the mound. That's pretty good. And he's 14-9 to the over. How many times do you see it? The two pitchers are combined 24-12 to the over. The way those unders come in. Berrios 3.89 ERA, 1.26 whip, 249 batting average against. For the Cubs here, they come in having lost 4 of their last 6 games, but they have beaten Toronto. This is a series opener between these two. They've beaten Toronto in 5 of the last 7 games between the two teams. Toronto, though, continues on. They're 13-3 in their last 16 games at home. They've beaten the Cubs in 6 of the last 9 meetings here in the Dome. That basically, though, that goes back, I think, past the pandemic. The Cubs here have gone over in 5 of their last 7 on the road, but they've gone under in 5 of their last 6 overall. Toronto's gone over in 6 of their last 7. Let's see what you have here in this one with the Blue Jays at home. Good interleague series here beginning on Tuesday. Going to be 2 teams in the playoffs here. Cubs got to kind of get to work here. Here we go with the Jermaine is here today. Hi, Jermaine. 9 Legacy says take those Cubs on the money line. And look, thanks. Look, you knew Jermaine would come through for us. Look at this. This goes back. This is a 23-year sample size. Yankees 123-43. What is this? The NBA? Thank you very much, Jermaine. That illustrates the point perfectly. It's steep like that. It's gone back that far. All right, Cash Kane says Blue Jays first 5 money line here. That might be it from the chat in this one. I think I'm ready to make the call. I mean, I'm on the Blue Jays here to win I'm on the Blue Jays. Simple as that. I'm taking the Blue Jays. As my pick here on the Morning Steam Show. Next up, Braves and Mets, Strider and Holmes. We didn't get the Holmes versus Holmes matchup, but the Braves on the road, two somewhat long-time rivals, if you want to call it that. But, hey, right now it's not so much when you're talking about the Atlanta Braves. They're struggling here with 16 games under 500. Unlike Braves season, the Strider is 5-9 with a 4.04 ERA, 1.3 WHIP, 241 batting average against. Braves are 5-10 with Strider on the mound. Holmes 9-6 with a 3.46 ERA, 1.3 WHIP, 244 batting average against. The Braves come in here having won 4 of their last 5 games coming in, and also the Mets are on a losing streak. Mets have lost 7 straight games here right now coming into this one. Atlanta's won 4 of the last 6 games here at City. Mets have dropped 5 of their last 6 at home, and they've lost 4 of their last 6 at home against Atlanta. Man, what do you think here? You got awesome Strider for sure, but looked good there last out. Holmes has good numbers, but the Mets are struggling right now, and can they turn it around at home? The line here currently is Mets favored $1.40, $1.40, and maybe just 8 over 15 here. The widely reported steam did come in on the under in this game. Let's see what you have. Mets are on a losing streak, but man, I might want them here actually. Let's see what you got. Maybe you can help me out here a little bit. We've got Cubs on the money line. Oh, that was on that last game there from Robert. Thank you. Public Enemy on the Blue Jays in that one as well. Maybe I'm going a little too fast here. Cash Kane starts us off in this one. He's got the Braves on the run line today. Let me see. That price is probably a little too high for me to consider. I am on the Mets probably anyways, but let me see here. Braves, minus $1.80. I can't give that out on the show. Thank you to Gorky today for his tennis parlay. Ostapenko and Towson. There will get you even money. Thank you, Gorky. Nice to see you there in the chat today. And Jermaine says, a hard game right there. Can't figure out, Gorky, help me out. Why is there, I don't know, let me see in the chat. Now I'm perplexed. Why is there a time? Okay, I gotcha. Some of them have times and some of them, okay. All right, here we go. Keith, just truth. He's on the Mets money line. Okay, I guess the times are right. It looks like the times are out of order as far as the play by the comments are concerned. Okay, Jay's over here for Jermaine. Public Enemies on the Braves. And Jermaine's liking what he sees on the board maybe here today. Robert's on the under in this one. And Jermaine likes the Mets team total under as well. All right. Mets are on a 7-game losing streak. I kind of want to take them here. I don't know if I didn't see enough in the chat to take me off this one. All right, give me the Mets here. If they were, it would be a premium if they were showing anything here of late. But I'm a little worried here with this losing streak right now. The Braves are doing a little bit better here of late. Jermaine had the Mets team total under. 9 Legacy says Braves full game under first 5. Okay, appreciate it, gang. I'm taking the Mets to end this losing streak here. Pirates and Brewers, well, it must be Paul Skeens Day, but it isn't. The Brewers really favored here. Now, we know the Brewers are the best thing in going here in baseball. I talk about them. Hey, I was talking Brewer ball there, right, when people were, I don't want to say weren't talking, but I mean, we've been riding the streak, right? Now I've been talking. Remember, we said yesterday, back on July 22nd, we put that play in Brewers to win the World Series at 20-1. And now here we are, just 21 days later, and they're down to 10-1 to win the World Series. I mean, they were hot then. We weren't making some outrageous statement or anything, but man, this total continues to get slammed here, and the steam came in on the under as well in this game. Down to 6.5 over 25 at some spots, or 7 under 25 here if you're me, with Skeens 7-8 record, 1.94 ERA, 931 whip, 192 batting average against. The Pirates are 8-14 to the under with Skeens on the mound. And here's what we've said, I think, sometimes about Skeens in some of these situations. Maybe he's not the best guy with that Pirates lineup to be minus $1.80 favorite, at home or something, even against mediocre teams or maybe smaller favorites. Maybe this is a spot where you want a guy like Paul. Yeah, I know the Pirates are going to have to find a way to score some runs. They're going up against Peralta here. Good numbers. Remember, we talked about Peralta yesterday because I didn't know my difference between my left-handers, my Peraltas and my Quintanas. Not left-handers. Peralta's a right-hander, but nonetheless, Peralta 13-5, 303 ERA, 1.1 WHIP, 208 batting average against, 258 the BABIP. Now, like I said, maybe these are the spots. It's just that Milwaukee's so hot right now. It's hard to buck anything that they're doing here at this point. And still, even in this one, I'm not sure, but these are more of the spots where I want to try Skeens sometimes. I'll probably go to the total. Let me see what you guys have here in this one between the Pirates and the Brewers here today. We'll take a little deep look at it. It just seems like just when you think, and look, they don't need a lot. Here's the thing. You're like, oh, well, yeah, but you got to get the runs. But maybe you don't need to get the run. You don't need a lot of runs here if Skeens goes ahead and deals. Now, the Brewers have won 10 straight games right now. They're 7-1 their last 8 at home. Pirates have dropped 5 of their last 7. They've dropped 4 of the last 5 to Milwaukee. They're 5-13 straight up on the road. I don't know if I can sell you on any of this. Milwaukee's gone over in 10 of their last 13. They've also beaten the Pirates in 12 of the last 18 games here in Milwaukee. All right, chat. Let me hear from you here in this one because, like I said, what could you do in this situation here? And not only that, this total, it is kind of, I might go over here, actually. Let's see what you got in the chat. All right. Ski's going to get pieced up today by these hot Brewers, says noted Brewers fan Fernando. But he's a handicapper, too, so we're going to trust him here a little bit with Brewers minus 118. Cash Kane says, just cancel the game. He says, give me the Brewers on the money line. Cash Kane says, first 5 under here. Keith Just Truth says, Brewers. Public Enemy Brewers money line and the under full game schemes won't be in long. We're seeing them go shorter and shorter right? Just get him out of there. Go out there, throw 4 or 5 innings, get the work in, keep your arm strong and healthy, get ready for another season. Pirates first 5, run line, and under for 9 legacy. Nuke says, why go against these guys at this point? Are they going to win them all? And he's kidding, but he's not. Brewers are just so hot, and they're fun to watch, it feels like. That's why I'm kind of getting behind this team a little bit. Robert says Skeens under and his outs, right? Milwaukee team total over for Terrell there. And I'm going over in this one with Pittsburgh and Milwaukee. I am going over, actually, on Skeens Day. Or is it Freddie Peralta Day? The Tigers are taking on the White Sox with Flaherty here on the road. Up against Vassell here for the White Sox in this one. For Vassell here. Let's take a look at his situation coming in. They said he might, get a shot here in the rotation a little bit. He's kind of in the bulk innings role, it feels like a little bit, but let's see. Did throw, had some good outings here anyway, a little bit. This is a guy who used to be on the Rays, Vassell, so he was a Rule 5 guy. So that's always, if you can pick up a guy off of the Rule 5 and he turns out to do a little bit, maybe you got something here. Let's go to the chat maybe here in this one, or let me go through some of the numbers anyway. For Flaherty here, he's 6-11. We've talked about it time and time again, right? He's 6-11 for a team that's 18 games over 500. They're 7-16 without him. So not only does he lose the games, but after he leaves the game, the Tigers don't win those games either. These are the tough ones here with Flaherty on the mound. 4.56 ERA, 1.28 the WHIP, 232 batting average against, and 296 on the BABIP. Go to the chat here in this one with Detroit coming in, having actually lost 5 of their last 7 games on the road. Detroit is 15-5 in their last 20 games, however, against the White Sox. The White Sox have dropped 7 of their last 8 coming in. They've also dropped 8 of their last 12 games at home. Detroit's gone over in 6 of their last 7 games. 6 of the last 9 between these two teams have gone over. The White Sox are just 2-13 in their last 15 games at home against Detroit. I think the one thing, we see the White Sox and we want to take them in some spots, but you know what? Against division teams, that might be where you kind of say, those might not be the ones that I want, actually. Let's see what you guys have here. And this one looks like it's going to be a pretty good day here today, and we want to get your plays for this matchup. All right. Cash King does like the White Sox on the money line. Terrell says Chicago White Sox over 3.5 for a little plus money. And let's see, they're going to jump all over Flaherty. He's a tired pitcher here at this point. It's funny, right? I mean, that's so funny that Flaherty is like the one guy out there where they're losing these games. Robert goes over. I'm taking Detroit. I don't care. I'm taking Detroit on the run line here today. Give me the Tigers. I'm still doing it with Flaherty. Look, they are playing the White Sox here, not any other team, I guess is the only way I can describe it. I know the White Sox are they've done a few things here of late. They're still 33 games under 500. Give me the Tigers today on the run line. All right. I'm not watching these horse races. It's just a little ambient programming. But you know what? When a horse, Razor, you out there? When a horse doesn't want to go in the gate, he ain't going in the gate. 10 men can't put the horse in the gate, right? All right, let's continue on here with the Nationals and Royals. You got Mitchell Parker here going against Michael Wacha. For Parker here, he's 7-12 with a 5.43 ERA, 1.48 WHIP, 279 batting average against. For Wacha, he's 6-9, 3.36 ERA, 1.5 WHIP, 1.15 WHIP, of course. Both teams are 11-12 with their respective starters in there today, which is interesting, right? Because Washington is 24 games under 500. Parker's actually kept them in some games, is what it feels like. And they've had some late inning heroics in some of his starts. But Wacha, for a team that's just one game under 500, they're also 11-12. Both pitchers have 11-12, or the team has 11-12 records with this respective pitcher in. So let's see here today. The Royals, this is a pretty high price. I get it, but kind of interesting. In fact, it's up to $1.85 now at some spots, and mostly 9 under 20, despite the fact that the widely reported steam did come in on the over in this game. All right. For Washington here coming into this one, they've dropped 9 of their last 12 games. They've dropped 5 straight, actually, to Kansas City. Washington's 2-4 in their last 6 on the road. Kansas City's won 4 of their last 5 games at home right now coming into this one. Kansas City's gone over in 6 of their last 8 games, but 6 of the last 9 meetings between these two teams have gone under, although 7 of the last 10 here in Kansas City has gone over. I don't know what to do here with this one. Let's hear from you in the chat. I think I know what I'm doing, actually, but let's see if you guys have taken this one anywhere. Cash Razors, if the horse ain't going in the gate, he ain't going in the gate. Cascades on the Royals here in this one. And Keith Just Truth, Royals first 5 and Moneyline D-Money on the Royals here. And Jermaine's going to wait on the weather, but I'm actually going to go with Washington in this one on the run line at plus 1.5 at minus $1.20, $1.30. Okay, that's fine. $1.30 it is. I'm taking the Nationals here today on the run line. Just too high of a price on the Royals here at this point. Nationals aren't doing much, obviously, but not sure the Royals aren't going to El Fado here. Roberts on the over here in this one. That steam came in on the over. You got a 9 shaded to the under here. 9 Legacy Royals on the run line today to blow them out a little bit. Next up, another mismatch here with the Colorado Rockies on the road taking on the Cards. With here's Freeland. Okay, here's Freeland. Remember, I tried to have him pitching yesterday. Freeland just 2-12 this season, 5.53 ERA, 1.52 WHIP, 307 batting average against, 340 BABIP he's up against fellow left-hander Matthew Liberatore. Liberatore comes in 6-9, 3.98 ERA, 1.29 WHIP, 267 batting average against. For the Rockies here, come in right now having lost just 8 straight games here, including last 6 straight on the road. Cardinals have won 4 of their last 5 coming into this one. Cardinals have gone under in 4 of their last 5. 6 of the last 8 meetings between the two have gone under. Colorado's lost 16 of their last 20 games against St. Louis. Colorado's also gone over in 8 of their last 10 games. Overall, Cards have gone under in 5 of their last 6 at home. Let's see how you have it today here in this one. Look, yesterday I tried to go over, and that was a no-show. Rockies were able to hang in there yesterday, right, and get that run line win anyway. In the 3-2 win, Dolander was in there. All right, let's see how you have it here today. I'll have to make my call. Man, kind of hesitate to keep going back to St. Louis here, but I'm picking on the Rockies a little bit, and I'm just going to go with the Cardinals again on the run line. I know we try to get cute on some of these bad teams, right? But this Rockies record is very, very bad. It's not getting any better. We know that. Give me the Cards here on the run line again, just as my play here on the show. Fernando is on him. Cash Kane says over. Roberts on the Cards still. Terrell says Colorado team total over. I think that's today. Robert says he was on the Rockies yesterday. All right, I'm going to take it. Royals money line back there in that one. Want to get that in for Public Enemy. Hello, good morning to Textiles in the chat. And 9 Legacy Cardinals first to 5 if they get there, right? They probably will get there. Next up, the Diamondbacks on the road here, taking on the Rangers. Okay, good series here. I know the Arizona, we're seeing them fade here pretty fast, but obviously yesterday they were able to hang in there and get the run line anyway against Texas, as Texas eventually got another win for DeSclafani here. Hey, look, so far for DeSclafani's got that 4.20 ERA. He's 1-2 this season. Arizona's 0-3 in DeSclafani's starts, so that does have 7 relief appearances. 1.2 whip, 241 batting average against. For Leiter here, 7-6, 4.05 ERA. I think it's clear. I've been on Leiter a little bit this season. 1.35 whip, 221 batting average against. He's 7-12 to the under. Leiter is 7-6. He's made 20 starts, right? He keeps you in the game. That's not a bad record at all. When Leiter has left the game, they're 0-6. 0-7 basically with Leiter when he's left without the lead, meaning not in line necessarily, for the decision. And they always go El Foldo after Leiter leaves the game. He's got a 7-6 record, yet the Rangers are 7-13 with Leiter on the mound. The bullpen's let him down every time. Basically, he keeps him in the game, and then here comes the bullpen, which is a surprise, right? Because Texas bullpen's been outstanding. DeSclafani is also 0-3 to the under. So these two pitchers are combined 7-15 to the under, although DeSclafani likes just the 3 starts so far. For Arizona, they come in here having won 6 of their last 9 games, but they are just 2-7 in their last 9 on the road. They've also lost 6 of the last 8 games to Texas overall. Texas is 1-4, though, in their last 5 games. However, they have won 13 of their last 18 games at home. Let's see what you have here in this one with Arizona and Texas. Current line is Texas. They're down to minus $1.45 maybe here, maybe a little bit of a nickel discount. The widely reported steam has come in on the under here. It was 9 under, but right now we're looking at a little bit of 8.5 over at minus 115 or so. And we'll take a little bit of a line moved off there in this one. Let's see what you've got. I'm taking the Rangers. I'm just going to take them on the money line here after getting burned there yesterday on the run line. Just going to have to take it down a little bit here because of kind of mixed results yesterday. So, here we go. Let's take a look. Textile says cards look clean. I don't know what he means by that. I will say that, I will say this. When you got that, you ever seen a Cardinals jersey up close, really? And the birds are like, that ain't just some iron-on patch. I mean, the birds in the Cardinal uniform. If you've ever worn a real Cardinal with the stitching of the birds, I mean, it really is a sick uniform if you think about it. I'm a uniform guy, so I think the Cardinal, pretty awesome. I don't think that's what Tex means, but maybe he does. Because Tex, he's a man of style, and he knows his way around fabrics, right? We've said it before. Good to see you, Tex. All right, Cash Kane's on the Rangers. And Cash Kane says Rangers first 5 money line. What is the type of that those bird, with the stitching the way it is, how it comes out? It's like Flea Mathis says fight night on a Tuesday. Yep, for the next, we've got it right now. We've got a Dana White's Contender Series tonight. 5 fights, promising prospects. Really, the thing about Dana White's Contender Series that you're pretty much looking at some of the top fighting prospects in the world trying to get a UFC contract. Robert's on the under here. 9 Legacy said that we were back on this other game. I'm sorry about that. I think Roberts might have been on this game, but I'm on Texas here. 9 Legacy's on it on the run line. Terrell says super over here in this one. Keith Just Truth, Rangers money line, team total, and run line, team total over. Got it. And Gorky's got another tennis parlay with Rublev and Krejcikova. All right, I'm on Texas on the money line. For our next matchup, it's the Boston Red Sox taking on the Houston Astros here with Dustin May and Spencer Arrighetti. Couple of guys have worked through some injury problems to get back on the mound. We know May's made plenty of starts this year. Now, good job. 19 starts, got a 6-8 record, 4.93 ERA, 1.36 WHIP, 249 batting average against. Arrighetti's made 3 starts. He's 1-2. He's got a 7.42 ERA. One game he really got knocked around, though, pretty good. A 1.57 whip, 278 batting average against here in this one. So we're still trying to get going if you're Arrighetti a little bit. But look, the Astros are kind of getting a little bit healthy in the pitching department right at the right time. They already have, their current lead, of course, in the division. Yeah, we've said, hey, they're falling here. Come the Mariners, just a few games back right now. They're 3 games back in the standings, but maybe the Astros have recovered here a little bit, and now they're getting some of their starting pitching back. It's kind of making them a little bit attractive in the futures markets. They're division leaders, so they're not exactly a long shot either, but they're live, and they're live they're as live as anybody in the American League, right? I mean, look, who else are you going to trust? Yes, Toronto, but they haven't done it here for many years at this point, so they've got a lot to prove. The Tigers, they just went through the biggest slump of the season that they've had. The Mariners, yes, they are very hot right now. You got to think that they could catch Houston if they were to slip up, but if the Astros are getting this pitching back, the Mariners would have to fight it from the wild card. And then you have these Boston Red Sox and, of course, the Yankees. All right, here we go with these two. Boston's won 5 of their last 6 against Houston, although they've dropped 4 of their last 5. Houston's won 5 of 7. Boston's gone over in 7 straight games. Houston's gone over in 6 of their last 7 games. 12 of the last 17 meetings between these two teams have gone over. It's a pretty big sample size, though, of a couple of seasons for sure. Houston's actually dropped 10 of their last 14 at home, but does feel like they've started to recover a little bit. We might need to go to the chat in this one and see what you have between the Red Sox and the Astros today. It's going to be Cash Kane. He's on the Red Sox on the money line. Public Enemy likes the over in this one. And hello, too. If it ain't boring, it's boring. He's here today. And Cash Kane says the Sox are trying to hang on in the wild card spot. Yeah, because you do have Cleveland who's been coming on here of late, and Texas doing a good job. I might draw the line right there. I know the Royals are only 4 back, But if I'm being realistic, I think that's where I'd probably draw the line. 9 Legacy says Astros run line. Correa to go over in his total bases, and Bregman to go over as well. All right, gang, and let's see what we're going to do here with these two. Because I kind of want to try Boston here with May. Let's do it. Give me the Red Sox on the road here. At even money or so. Right now, I'm showing the Astros are about $1. It might be down to $1.15. So maybe there is a little bit of move there. Cash Kane says, hello to Lovable Plays. Yay. Robert's on the Astros, and Cash Kane says, Astros only a half a game up right now on those Mariners currently. Mariners are hot. Laker Boy says May is awful. Trevor Davis in the chat, Houston money line, and great to see Kelly here. Good morning, Kelly. Miss you here on the chat. All right, Kelly's here. All right, I'm taking the Red Sox here today. A little bit of breaking news out there today. If Razor's out there, calling out Razor every time, but looks like Jordan Love is going to need a procedure on his thumb. They expect him to be ready for the start of the season, so probably just a little touch-up in there on a ligament, and they expect to be ready for the season, so interesting there. All right, I'm on the Red Sox here. Lovable says May might be improving. He should, coming off basically double injury, right? Doing a pretty good job considering. All right, here we go. The dominating series. One team is dominating over the other in this series. Yeah, it's the Angels owning the Dodgers. You took Ohtani from us. We'll try to knock you out of the first place. Emmett Sheehan goes here for the Dodgers. They're clinging to a one-game lead over my Padres. The Angels, meanwhile, and let me check the pitching here actually on this one. I think we have either an opener. Let me see, Medeiros here. Yeah. And that price still probably $1.85. Maybe $1.90 right now, and 9.5 shaded to the over here with this move here today. So let's get the lowdown here in this one for the Angels. All right. Cody Medeiros here, the 29-year-old. Coming into this one, he's been on so many teams here. Let me see. He was drafted by the Brewers. He's a 29-year-old from Hilo, Hawaii. Gets the start here in this one. And, he used to be kind of a thing, but let's see what we got here in Medeiros. Just an opener, most likely here in this one. Let's see what you guys have here with this one. Let's see here. All right. So for Medeiros. Here, I believe it's his debut. Man, it's taken a long time for this man to get to the major leagues. He was signed on a minor league deal several years ago by the Angels. Let's see what his yeah. All right. So, yeah, good times here with Medeiros today going for the Angels in his major league debut here right now. It's taken him 3 years to get here. since signing that minor league contract with the Angels in 2022. In fact, he's been uh, re- uh, released and picked up, I believe, in that time here as well. So, okay, we'll see. Can the Dodgers do it? Can the Dodgers do it against this pitching situation here today? Let's go to the chat. In this one, let me read off some of the numbers at least here too, and get us going. Emmett Sheehan, 5 starts. Medeiros does have 2 appearances so far in relief. I mistakenly said debut. Starting debut is what I meant to say. But Sheehan, 5 starts, 3-2 record, 3.0 ERA, 1.2 WHIP, 225 batting average against, 288 BABIP, and oops, I think I've even spelled the man's name wrong here. Don't do this man a disservice here. There we go. You guys are helping me out in the chat a little bit with my Medeiros here. All right, let's see. We've got, are the Dodgers overdue? Cash Cane Dodgers run line. And Lovable says she had the Angels for a premium there yesterday. Good job, Lovable. 9 Legacy. Angels run line. Team total over. Let's see here. Bobby Mack says take the Angels in this one. Lovable says going with the over here. SF Niner does not bet Dodgers or Yankees games. Public Enemy says Dodgers on the run line and over, and SF Niner's running out of SF Niner is going to run out of sports to bet. He'll start betting on whether or not the inflation rate will go up in the country. All right, man. Really like the spot for the Angels. A little bit concerned about the situation here. I was on the Dodgers yesterday as well, so I don't know if I want to do it again, even though we've got a little bit shaky pitching, it feels like, here for the Angels today. And whether or not, if it is an opener, that's fine. The Angels have a pretty bad bullpen here, but man, I don't know if I can go against the Dodgers still. All right, I'm on the Dodgers again. I love the Angels. Don't get me wrong. Let's go, Angels. Come on. I don't know if I trust this situation. I'm going to go with the Dodgers again. Let me move on to the next one. I'm feeling Dodger regret. All right, the Padres with Nestor Cortez here going up against Robbie Ray. In this one for Cortez, 3 starts. He's always open. He's got that 7.11 ERA, 1.57 WHIP, 222 batting average against, and a 138 BABIP. 3 games, not going to put too much stock into those numbers, but the metrics would say better than a 7.11 ERA. For Ray here, 24 starts, 2.85 ERA, 1.12 WHIP. Been strong this season. Giants are 17-7 with Ray on the mound. They're a game under 500. So Ray's come in here. He does a good job every time. Now, he is a favorite here against the Padres right now, though. Ray is down to, $1.15 or so. We'll call it $1.20, but definitely down from this opening price. And the total here, 7.5, maybe shaded to the over a little bit in this one. Let's see how you have it. As the Padres coming in off that win and did a good job yesterday. This feels a little bit tougher, though, against Ray. Padres have won 5 of their last 6. They really have been dominating the Giants. They've won 8 of their last 10 against them. Giants have lost 11 of their last 12 games at home right now, and 11 of their last 16 games overall. Padres have won 4 of their last 5 on the road. So they've done well against the Giants. They've kind of dominated the Giants. This does feel like a little bit tougher game today. Let's see how you might have it in the chat. Here we go. We're almost done with the show. Oh, my goodness. All right. Chat All-Stars. Here we go. SF Niners, right? Making me laugh, but okay, here we go. Lovable Play says always going to fire here. Cash Cane Giants money line in a must-win game for them. Well, I guess so. It feels like the must-win games are kind of gone for the Giants to me. It feels like they've just got too much work to do here, but only 4.5 back of the wild card. Padres for Robert here. 9 legacy. Padres to win again. And Lovable says Rays the only one that can win. Public Enemy says Padres. SF Niner says, look, I know this Giants team. They're done. Irish King says Padres money line. And SF Niner said they thought they could turn around. It just hasn't happened. Public Enemy says Giants first 5 money line. I trust Ray. I want to start trusting Cortez too, but this one feels tougher, I think, for me. All right. I'm going to try the over tonight here with the Padres and the Giants at 7.5 over. Kind of tough to try any overs in these games in San Francisco right now, but I'm going to do it. And we've got just one more baseball game on the card here with the Rays on the road here, taking on the A's. Shane Baz goes for Tampa Bay, going up against Lopez here of the Athletics. Wow. For Lopez here, 5-6 record, 3.59 ERA, but look at his last 3 starts here, 4 star. He's having a pretty strong run here. He's been up and down for sure. He's had his moments. 228 batting average against, however. Shane Baz here, 8-8, 4.92. The ERA feels like the Rays did it yesterday. They were the better team than the A's. You'd think the A's can take advantage of some of these. I was disappointed yesterday. I went with the A's. And they had a good pitcher on the mound yesterday. I think Lopez is a good pitcher. Statistically, he looks better than Baz. But the Rays got it done yesterday with the bats a little bit. Let's see how you have it here. The total's down here to 9.5. I'm just going to go under. You know me. I've been going a lot of overs in A's games at home, but I'm going under in this one for sure with Baz and Lopez. Let's get your plays here in the chat. All right. SF Niners has got under maybe there in the Giants game. 9 legacy says A's money line, team total over. Cash Cane, A's money line and under. Lovable plays will take the A's. SF Niner will take the Rays. And Robert McCormick will take the Rays. You either got the Rays or the A's. In this one, unless you're me, I've got the under, and it's going to be at 9.5 now. There's still some 10 under 20s at least, but there's a lot of 9. I'm going to put 9.5. Since I've got the under, let me make it a tougher line to beat. There we go. You can still get 10 under 20. I'm taking the under with the Rays. You can call me Ray, or you can call me A, and that's going to do it for the baseball segment. We've got 2 games in the WNBA tonight, and that's it. Let's take a look. Wings and Fever in this one, and oh man. Okay, you got the Fever here. They're up to 8, maybe even 8.5 here right now. What is Caitlin Clark back? What's going on? The Fever just had to sign Odyssey Sims to a contract. The total here has gone up to 172, maybe even 172.5. This is outrageous. Well, it's not outrageous. It might actually happen here today in this one anyway, but you do have an Indy team that's lost 2 of their last 3, but Dallas is on a long losing streak. Indy is still 10-6 against the spread at home. Like I said, they've signed Odyssey Sims here to a contract because they are decimated at the guard spot. No Clark. They've lost Colson. McDonald was signed. She looked great for about 2 or 3 weeks in the lineup there, like she belonged, like she was going to be a big part of the team here moving forward this season. And she got injured. Now you've had to bring in Odyssey Sims. Odyssey Sims kind of just sits there waiting for a phone call every year until someone gives her a call and says, "We need you." Totals up to 172.5 here. I'm going to go over, maybe because I don't know any better. But I'll go over in this one. Look, Dallas does have some under tendencies because I think sometimes the Dallas totals probably are too high. But right now they're stuck on an 8-24 record as one of the bottom teams in the league, if not the second to worst team in the league. So let's see what you got here. If you have anything with the WNBA tonight, Fever's stepping it up. Remember they were kind of mired around 500, and we were saying, boy, which of these teams isn't going to make the playoffs? Will it be the Fever? Well, the Fever's all the way up to 5th place right now, or tied anyway. Maybe they're ahead in the tiebreaker with the Aces, but they've kind of put some distance on between. Whereas before we were talking about, it looked like 4 teams for 5 spots. Now it looks like we're getting down to 2 teams for 3 spots between Golden State, Seattle, and the Sparks. Washington still has a chance, but does feel like the way this league goes, that's what you're looking at. So let's go to the chat. I'm already on the over. Tonight, Johnny liked the Rays in that one. SF Niner. How about anything? Tennis, soccer. I have not been touching Cincinnati publicly. I've just been betting it. I've got beat down too much in Canada last week, but did I call them Oakland? What did I do that for? Okay, they're Las Vegas, lovable, right? Cash Kane is on the Fever on the money line. No, I don't think tonight's the night. We're still not sure about Clark, and we're not sure at all. It's not tonight. It's not yet. No information. SF Niner. Robert says, "Give me the Fever." And maybe an upset. Could we get an upset here with Dallas? Beckers is in there, so they have to win sometime. Dallas to cover, says 9 Legacy. Look, I kind of feel that way. On the show, I went with the Indiana here. They're playing very, very well. It's just that how many injuries can they really sustain to the guards to such a key position? They have, they keep playing well. They're getting the benefit of a weak team on the schedule here. Like I said, it's up to 8 or 8.5. And I think that generally, I don't know how deep you want to get into the handicaps in the WNBA, but basically this down to a 4th string point guard is what it is. I think that's the way I'd portray it. All right, nothing much else on that one. Let me move on here to the final game. The Liberty are taking on the Sparks here in this one, and look at that total. It's actually gone down. Hey, it's gone down. Here's the thing I was saying on the show. This is not a good handicap at all or anything. Doesn't it seem, though, like whenever you get one of these outrageous totals in the WNBA, it doesn't even come close? Sure, it all points on the metrics or on the past performances. Oh, this is going to be a wild one. And then it goes to like 165 or something. So let's see if you're doing this one, though. Liberty here, -4 now on the road against the Sparks. Sparks are as hot as they come. They're 9-2 in their last 11 games against the spread. Liberty have won 3 of their last 4, but they're still 2-8 in their against the spread. Their last 10 on the road. They don't cover on the road, and they're not exactly at full strength. We know they're missing their best player for a month now, pretty much. With Brianna Stewart, well, not a month, half a month, but no timetable yet, really to come back. Now, Isabel Harrison is missing this game for LA. That's key report here. That report came in kind of yesterday that Harrison would miss with concussion syndrome symptoms for the Liberty. So that also is a pretty big deal. But well, the line move is on the Liberty here pretty much. All right, let's see how you have it here in this one between these two. I'll go to the chat. Here we go. Cash Kane, Liberty money line. Robert says Liberty team total under, right? Okay. Cash Kane's on the over here in this one. And Lovable says it feels like an under here, right? I mean, it's funny because I kind of agree with that sentiment. All right, see if we got one more in here. It just seems like all these high totals. Now, LA is 11-3. Let me see what the number 11-3 to the over. Let me make sure I get this. 11-3 to the over at. I got to look this one up manually because I didn't put it in my notes. 11-3 to the over at home. New York's 10-17 to the under as a favorite. 9 Legacy, Liberty to cover and full game under. And SF Niner, he's not betting any WNBA. All right, I'm gonna make the call. The show's over. Make sure you're commenting in the chat if you want to win my picks. Remember yesterday, I don't know if Abel got mad or if he's upset with me because I said that. Here's the thing. Abel said, I would never buy any picks. I didn't ask you to buy any picks. I asked you to support Ramon Scott on the show by subscribing to my additional content. I didn't ask if you want to buy free picks or not. So, Abel's mad because the Dodgers are choking. He didn't want to come in here and me give him the business a little bit. He's one of our best contributors. You know that. Abel gives us great plays. He gives us the West Up parlay, for example. But he might be a little tilted with these Dodgers. Probably sleeping in today. But like I said, if you folks, if you got whatever your jobs are, I would support you guys. If SF Niner sold yachts, I'd buy my yacht from SF Niner. If Cash Kane sold Rolexes, I'd buy my Rolex from Cash Kane. I own 5 watches. All right. Anyway, I better make my call in the game here between the Liberty and the Sparks. Oh, boy. It's going to be on the total. I know that. And I do like it under. It's just moved back down here all of a sudden. All right. Show's over. Make the call here, Ramon. Go with the under in the Liberty and the Sparks. Okay, here we go. Thank you, everybody. Appreciate it. Terrell says, is Stewart out? Yeah, Stewart is still out. How about that? AOD, thank you. Cash Game, thank you. 9 Legacy, really appreciate it. Let's go to the drawing right now, shall we? And see who is going to win the free play. So even when you win this, just signing up is like, for me, I'm very, very satisfied with that. And it's a free subscription. Okay, here we go. We're going to do the drawing right now in just a moment, but we're going to have our segment here of our commercial. That's what it is. Appreciate everybody joining. Make sure you join us tonight for UFC Dana White's Contender Series. This is at 7 Eastern and 4 Pacific. There's 5 fights. You can get the previews right here as well. I tried to show it Mikey, if you're out there, I screwed up again. So hopefully I don't get fired. But go ahead and check out VB MMA Picks. We previewed all 5 fights with an incredible guest actually today. Mr. Blonde. Man, Mr. Blonde knows the fight scene with some of these smaller organizations, and it was great coverage there from Mr. Blonde. All right. Oh, here we go. Let's go to the commercial here real quick. Make sure you type your name in the chat if you want to win the plays here.
It's your boy, Mikey Money. I'm inviting you to join the Sports Money crew on Winnable. Get all of our premium best bet selections.
For a low monthly cost, you get the very best bets delivered instantly to your phone by text the moment they're locked in. No delays, no missed lines, just the smartest plays at the best odds.
We do the work, you get the plays sent straight to your phone right when you need them.
Don't wait, don't guess, don't miss the line. Join the winning team today and start cashing tickets with Winnable.
And that's what Mikey means right there when you're talking about that. You know, we send them out and you get notifications in real time. It's not like some, people send out their plays early on or whatever. We're trying to get you some, this is timely, mostly timely information when you subscribe to these plays. I send out the packages usually 30 to 60 minutes before the game. Even sometimes as little as 15 minutes on some of the late breaking stuff, and you get notifications on your phone. So that's one way to go about it. Let's go to the drawing here right now and see who wins today. We got Kelly, Robert, Laker Boy, Cash Kane, and it's going to be Lovable. I think Lovable's already in there. I'll just give Lovable another month. How about that? Thank you, Lovable, for stopping by today. We love you. Appreciate you being part of the chat all-stars. It's going to do it here for the Morning Steam Show. Catch you tomorrow, 9 a.m. Eastern, 6 Pacific. Make sure you catch Mikey Money here tonight. Look, he'll have pre-gaming, 9 Eastern, 6 Pacific. Then he's going to lead right into the show. We're back about 5 minutes later and come in with the UFC coverage here tonight. And again, please check out VB MMA Picks. We also did the preview for UFC 319, which is actually more important and significant. Go over to VB MMA Picks. VB MMA Picks here, and check out the coverage for UFC 319 as well. We previewed the fight card for this weekend with that big middleweight title bout from Chicago for the first time in 6 years at the Jordan Center. Dricus du Plessis, Khamzat Chimaev, middleweights for the title here this weekend. You got both fighters undefeated in the UFC. Du Plessis 9-0 in his UFC career. Chimaev 8-0 in his UFC career. Of course, remember, Du Plessis beat Strickland last time out for that to defend his title, and Chimaev had that round 1 submission over Whitaker last October, if you remember, dominated him quickly and got him out of there. So good middleweight fight. Also co-main event, Lerone Murphy against highly touted wrestler Aaron Pico, making his UFC debut. A highly touted prospect, was a world championship contending wrestler back several years ago. He's 28 now. Had a win in that PFL versus Bellator event, and he gets a big nod here going up against a number 6 contender. Pico is expected to be a bit of an impact fighter. Although he's 13-4 in his career, Murphy's never lost as a professional. We also previewed Neal versus Prates. But also check it out on VB MMA Picks today. You might have saw it in the lobby when you came in. The fight preview for today with the action there at the Contender Series. So please check that out today. Join us here on the wow, big I am on you. All right, I don't know what else we can do here on the morning steam. Really appreciate it. Got some great action today. Thank you for joining me. For the let me say goodbye to the folks there. Let's see here. All right. Lovable like the sparks there. Keith Just Truth, hello. Lovable gets those plays. Please smash the like button. Says sports money. Please, Mikey, got to put a new shell up there. Hope you saw that. Sorry about that, brother. And let's see here. AOD, thank you. And let's see. Sports Money says the lines have been moving today on some of that Contender Series. How about it? And Lovable, make sure you join us today for it. She says, what is the DWCS? So come on by. We're going to have some fun with this. It's probably some of the top fighting prospects in the world, and then usually they fight, and then at the end of the fight, Dana gives them a UFC contract. If it's anything like last season, usually 80%, maybe even more than that, get the contract. Sometimes the winner doesn't get the contract. They make them, if you're a $4 favorite in a Contender Series fight and you win a split decision, you probably ain't getting a contract. That's kind of how it works. And all right, and there it is. Mike says he's already sent his premiums out for the card there tonight. I'll be checking them out as well. All right, that's going to do it. For the Morning Steam and for the Sports Money Network, I'm Ramon Scott. So long.
In steam, it's time to break one for cover. That's gonna cover, that's gonna cash. Then we make the 100-yard dash to the window. I don't know what you thought. It's Ramon Scott running so hot. Sports make money and we make money with sports money every single day. NFL, NHL, NCAA. Stay away from the juice, we might play a parlay. It's the Morning Steam. What? Ramon Scott. Sports money. What? Wake your ass up and let's get to the money. Get to the money.